Okay, good morning, all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Good
morning, sir.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, right. Let me share the screen. Right, so,
Sir,
yeah, tell me.
sir, the third program of codecheck.io, I'm getting an error, sir. Like not an error. Actually, it is itself saying that for A1 it will be black, and then further you can do it yourself.
Okay.
Then how can G1 be white, sir? Like
Yeah,
if I calculate it, it's coming black only.
yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
it's G1. Yeah, sir. It's error, sir, for G1 when I did.
Then I think it's an error. I don't know how this program has been compiled because until unless it is checked, it will not be uploaded there. Uh, Okay, let's bypass that failure test case, no problem. Okay. So I even got the complaint from the other section also that the test case is wrong. But I think the remaining test cases are okay, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
sir. Till now remaining are okay.
Okay. So if you find that remaining test cases are okay and 2 or 3 test cases are not good, that's fine. Leave it. But don't look into that every time that the test case is wrong because sometimes our logic might be wrong. Only few test cases will be correct. The last test case might be wrong also. You check yourself every time and then only confirm to the decision that this test case is wrong. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because we have seen that after doing a lot of logic and many people have complained, we are coming to the conclusion that the test case is wrong. So that's fine. We can bypass it. You can go to the other ones, but still you can share the screen in your folder like as if I said yesterday. Okay. Okay. Right. So I think are you able to see the screen of all the functions which I am showing at the right side?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yesterday we have gone through index, append, extend, insert, count. So today we will go into the remaining things like remove, reverse, sort, copy, and clear. Okay. So first we will go for remove. So remove is a function which is used for removing an element, and most probably it also looks like pop. So pop and remove actually focuses on removing some element from a particular list. So for example, the syntax of remove is this one. You can look into this syntax which I am highlighting now. So list.remove of element is the syntax for the remove. So what element you want to remove should be clearly mentioned. For example, in this list of, in the 12th line, in this list of, yes, somebody, any doubt? Okay. So in this list of 100, 30, 40 and 500, I want to remove 40. So what I do is I just use remove function. So I say student dot remove of 40. So I'm following the syntax actually. You can see that the syntax of remove is this one. So list dot remove of element. So element should be clearly mentioned and the element should be one of these. It is not about asking about the index. It is asking about what element you want to delete. For example, see some of your friends might have left out to other colleges recently. So what our system will do, for example, they paid a fee, so they are included into the system. And when they have gone outside of this college and they have joined other college during MSET results, then their names will be removed from this. So you can remove a student from the list. So for removing, you can use this function called remove. So remove can use only one parameter, that is you can say you can remove an element. An element might be an integer, like the example which I am showing on the right side, you see, it can be a string, it can be a list also. Not only a string, it can be a list also. So something that a remove can do is, that actually removes that is existing in it. For example, if I am trying to remove like this, I'm trying to do like this. You see on the left side, which I'm doing. So 10 is not present. So let us see whether 10, first initially I will remove 40 and I will check out what it will happen. So I will visualize the code. So after this, I will say, yeah, we had 100, 30, 40, and 500. And you see that has been removed and the 500 has been moved to the previous position. You see, the 40 has been removed from the index 3 and 500 has been moved to the third index. So this is how the remove works actually. For example, if I say that I want to remove 10, the 10 is not part of your list. So what will happen if I try to remove 10? Let us see. So what it is saying, the list dot remove x, x is not in the list. X in the sense its case is the element. So it is showing the syntax actually. You have mentioned like this, the list is the student that you have mentioned and remove, and in place of x you have written 10. But 10 is not there in the list. That's what he is saying. It's an universal error. That's why he said x or something. He's not giving exactly what is the value it is. So it says that it is not there. So to eliminate this error, can anybody tell me any suggestion? How do you write a program so that if some value which is not there in the list, if you are trying to remove it, it still understands that it is not there in the list and continues with the program by telling the message that this number is not there in the list. Can anybody tell me any idea about this?
Sir, we can use count.
Yeah, simply count. So if the count is greater than 0, you can remove that element. But if count is equal to 0, it means the element is not there. You can simply present a message that the element is not there and you can simply proceed with your program. Right. So after remove, we have the other function which is pop. So why I'm telling remove and pop at a time, because you will understand the difference between them. So now what is the syntax of pop? You see, the syntax of pop is list.pop of index. You see, what is the difference between them? I'll just paste it here. You can look into this and tell me what is the difference between this pop and remove. Both does the same thing of eliminating some element from a list. But what is the difference between them?
The pop is asking the index number.
Yes, pop is asking the index number. So somebody might ask me that, sir, what is the nature of element and index? Why the difference should be there? The remove and pop are doing the same thing. Why do you need an index or an element? You can keep at least one. Okay, for example, I can say that I know only the indexes. Okay, I will say some example. Sometimes I might think that few values are constant in a list and some values are changing. For example, you say the pi r square, pi r square. For example, I am giving circle is equal to, I'm giving a list of all the values. You might think like I will give pi r square 3.14, which is fixed. And the next one I'm giving is the r, the radius. Maybe I will give 5 as the radius. Now you see the first element in the list is pi. The next element in the list is the radius. Now you think that the radius is actually changing sometimes, okay? Sometimes the radius can be removed and you can you don't use anything, so the radius is 0 and the whole circle area is 0 actually. So something that is constant cannot be changed, but you know that in this list the index number 1 can either be removed and inserted with a new value. Okay, so there are some conditions where some indexes should be mentioned for removal, because we don't know what is the value in that index, but I want to remove whatever the value it might be in that particular index. I use a pop. అంటే ఏ వాల్యూ ఉన్నప్పటికీ ఒక ఇండెక్స్ లో నేను రిమూవ్ చేయాలి అంటే నేను పాప్ వాడతాను. I don't want any value or any specific value to be mentioned. But if I know a particular value to be removed, for example, Ramesh has shifted his seat from Geetam to Raghu College or Geetam College or something, sorry, Gayatri College or something. Then I know specifically there is a person called Ramesh. I will mention Ramesh in the place of element. So this is where I use remove. But if I know the index, for example, take the index as a roll number. If I know that the roll number, I don't know whoever the person might be in that particular roll number, I only mention the roll number. In the same sense, I only mention the index, because index acts as a roll number to all the elements that are present in the list. So as I said, the 1 is having an index or a roll number 0, 100 is having an index or roll number 1, like that it will be. Okay. So let us see how the POP works. POP works in 3 ways. You can just use POP like this. Not 3 ways, you can go for 2 ways. So now what will happen? I did not give any index. Can anybody suggest your idea of what might happen here? When I did not present any index, what could happen there? Will it give me an error? Any idea?
So number at 0 index will be taken out.
Yes.
Okay. Any other? Let us see what will happen.
It will take the end elements, sir.
Yes, that's correct. Now you see, now we are at the statement of POP. You can see here, our red line is at student.pop. You see what will happen. So what has been removed? You just observe in the memory. When the POP function is called, what has been removed? What is there in the previous case? 500, right?
500.
500 has been removed. And you need to know one thing. It clearly says this one, you see. The POP method, you see on the right hand side, the POP method takes a single argument index. But if you did not mention any index, the default index is -1. In this case, what is the -1 here?
500.
Yes, in the previous, this is our memory actually. If you go from left to right, in this case, you will have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you are going from right to left, it is considered, the 500 is considered as having -1, 40 is -2, 30 is -3, 100 is -4, and 1 is -5. I hope you understand. So by default, if you just mention something like a POP, right? It is always including by default a -1 as an index. So if you don't mention anything in the parenthesis of POP, by default, it is always considered -1. So you're asking the system to remove the last element if you simply mention only POP. But if you try to mention something like POP of 2, so what would be the output for this?
100, 40, and 500.
Yes, 100, 40, and 500. The reason is the 30 is belonging to index 2 because 1 is 0, 100 is 1, 30 is 2. I said that POP 2. So in this case, the 30 will be removed and your final list will be 100, 40, and 500. See the difference between that remove and POP. In remove, we are clearly mentioning remove 30. But in POP, we are saying pop out an element which is at index 2. Pop out an element which is at index 2. Okay, let us see. If you visualize this code, what will happen? Yeah, I think you can see that 30 has been removed and the final list that was kept for student is 140 and 500. So this is the difference between pop and remove, and you need to use based on your application. Okay, I hope you understand. Any doubt in this? If there is no doubt, we can proceed. Right. So we have seen up to now index, append, extend, insert, remove, count, pop. For a small revision, what is the difference between append and extend? Can anybody tell me?
if a list is given in append, it will directly given as a list, but in extend, it will extend in different indexes.
Yes. So, simply technically, if you speak, you can say an append will consider a list as a item, a single item, and it includes it as a whole. Okay, it includes a particular list or a string or an integer or a float as an item itself, and it simply includes in the main list. But extend is iterable. Iterable in the sense, if you give a list also, it will take each element of a list as item. So each element is included into the main list. So it is not included as a list as a whole, but it will be included as each element into the main list. So it is iterable. Now coming to this sort. Now first we will look into sort, then we will look into the reverse. Okay. So sort is something. But can anybody tell me what is sorting? What do you know by
So arranging the elements of a list in a certain order, like ascending, descending.
that's correct. So for example, now I have a student which is completely jumbled, right? Maybe I will change it like this 40 and now I have 30. So it is completely jumbled list, right? Student 100, 40, 30, 500. If I arrange it, I am expecting it to be 1, 30, 40, 100, 500. There are many algorithms to sort a particular list or an array. You can say that med sort, quick sort, insertion sort, bubble sort. Lot of algorithms are there. And when you come to data structures, you can learn what are the algorithms that you can do. That means you need to manually sort it. But until then, you can simply use a function called sort, which is belonging to the list. So you don't require to write any program for that. You simply use something called sort. So if you just use sort, all the values might be sorted. Let us check what will happen. Now you got this one 100, 40, 30, 500, and after this function student sort, let us see what will happen. Yeah, have you seen 1, 30, 40, 100, 500? It has been sorted already. So remember, the sorting algorithms are many, right? But each algorithm has its own process of sorting. Some algorithms might take few minutes, for example, 5 minutes to sort. Some algorithms might take 1 minute to sort. Some algorithms might take 30 seconds to sort. Each one is better than the other. అంటే మనకి చాలా అల్గారిథమ్స్ ఉంటాయి ఒక సొల్యూషన్ కోసం. అల్గారిథం అంటే ప్రాసెస్. For example, to reach a particular destination, there are many routes. Have you seen in Google, maps, that to reach a destination, it will propose you that, okay, this is one path, this is one path, this is one path. And each path, it says that it is 5 minutes late, it is 10 minutes late. So I am proposing a shortest path to you. Like that, to sort a particular list, there are many algorithms which take different times. And you know what this sort algorithm, what this sort function will do? It has all the algorithms or the process in its pocket. And based on the input, it will decide which algorithm to use. And it is masking from you. You don't know which algorithm it is using. Maybe it is using med sort, maybe it is using quick sort, maybe it is using bubble sort or insertion sort. So many sorting algorithms are put into this function, and based on the input, it will use it. I will tell one example. If you have 1 lakh elements in a list, so the total size of your list is 1 lakh. So you have 1 lakh numbers. Then to sort it, you cannot use an algorithm which takes 5 minutes, right? Because it might take more time to sort 1 lakh numbers. Instead, you can use a algorithm like medsort or quicksort, which is very, very effective and sort most of the elements within less time. So if it is even 1 lakh, it will sort it with less time. So the sort function here in the list will actually decide which algorithm to use intelligently. But you don't know which it is using. It is simply just showing you that sorted list to you. That's all. It is masking the entire implementation from you. But when you come to the data structures, it is your turn to implement this sort function. Then you will implement what type of sort I need to use. Okay. Coming back to this. So you know sort, but how it is sorting by default without any parameter? What type of sorting you are seeing here?
Ascending to descending.
Ascending to higher order. So from a lower order to the higher order it is going. So it's an ascending order. So 1, 30, 40, 100, 500. For example, I want descending order. Then I have a provision reverse is equal to true. Now let us see what will happen now. So I expect that it will be 500, 30, 40, sorry, 500, 100, 40, 31. It should be the answer that it comes. See what I am doing in the sort. Initially, I have given nothing like this, but now I am giving something like reverse is equal to true. Let me check out. You see, have you seen this? After the sort function is called and we said the reverse is equal to true, it is sorting in a descending order. So from a higher order to the lower order. Earlier it is lower order to higher order. Now it is higher order to lower order. 500, 100, 40, 30, 1. So remember, in sort function, there are two ways that you can sort. One is ascending order and the other one is descending order. For ascending order, this is always false by default if you don't do anything here. Let us see. Okay. So you got it sorted like 130, 40, 100, 500 in an ascending order. The reason is I said the reverse is equal to false. So why should I give reverse is equal to false? If I want ascending order, I just simply remove it like this. That's all. I don't give any parameter. By default, the reverse is always false. If the reverse is true, then I am expecting that it should be sorting in a descending order. So remember this, the sorting function. By the way, which type of function it comes into? Can anybody predict? So I said like type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, right?
Function with parameter.
Function with parameter, and does this function has a return without return type? Because it doesn't have any return type. You see, if you print something onto the screen, it doesn't show any return type. So for example, I will just check out the execution. See, it says none on the screen. You can see none, in the sense it is belonging to type 2. The type 1 function is a function with parameter and with return value. The type 2 is a function without parameter and without a return value. Sorry, with parameter and without return value. What is type 3? What is
Without
the
parameter.
Without
with
parameter with return value.
Yeah, without parameter and with return value. What is type 4? Without parameter and without return value. Okay. So these are the things that you need to consider and see. And among these things, can you tell me which is written and which is not written? What is the first index? What type it belongs to based on things that we have discussed?
Right.
So it is type 1. Yes, because we are passing on the index value and it is returning the index. Okay. We are passing on the element and asking it to return the index of that element. So it has one parameter and one return value. So the list index is a type 1. What is the list append?
Type 1.
The list append is it type 1 or type 2? In append, we are actually passing an item or an element, but are we expecting any return value there?
No, sir.
No, we are just changing or modifying something in the memory. We are not expecting any return value. You see, if I print something like this, So what will it give? So I'm just removing this one. So I will write print student dot append of 2. So I'm trying to append 2 into the student. So I'm also trying to print. Now let us see if there is any return value or not. Okay, 2 is included, but did it get any return value? No, none. That is why it did not print anything. It is printing none. So append has no return value. So which type of function is append?
Type 2.
Type 2. Type 2 is a function with parameter like this, a function with parameter and without any return value. What is extend? What is extend? Is it type 1, type 2, type 3 or type 4?
Type 2 only.
Type 2. What is insert?
Again type 2.
Type 2.
Type
Because
2.
we are sending an element to be inserted into the memory. That means you are trying to insert maybe 50 in between 40 and 30. You are not expecting any return value. You are only sending the parameter. So insert is a type 2. Remove
Type 2.
Type 2.
type 2. Count
1.
type 1.
Type
Because you are
1.
sending an element
Type
and
1.
to find out what is the return value. That means how many times. Pop.
Type 2.
Yes, pop can be type 2 and also pop can be type 4 also,
Type.
because sometimes you don't send any parameter, but still it is default -1. So it is by default every time we need to consider as type 2. So now sort
Type 2.
type 2. Okay, right. Now considering now we will go to reverse.
Sir,
Tell me.
Sir, in sort, how are we giving an assignment operator in place of an argument in a function, sir?
Assignment operator. in
Like,
place of-
If we imagine the function definition, how is it going to work?
Yeah, actually in function definition also we can do that. You can define a function where you have default values. That also I will show you. Okay, you can do it on your own. So for example, while defining itself, you can also say something like DEF or FUN C, and you can write something like A is equal to 6 and B. So in this case, what happens is that you can simply say that A is having a default value like this. Okay, 6. But you can also change it. So I will just try to print A comma B. So I will try to print like this. And when I'm calling the function, maybe let us send something like this. 3. So I shall block it or remove so that there will be no confusion. So I will give something like 3 comma 4. Let us check whether this works or not. So what does it say? Non-default arguments follows default arguments. So I think it is expecting no value, but only this one. Let us see. So non-default value following the default argument. So can we do something like this? If we can have, okay, I will keep A comma B. So I will say, okay, here X is equal to 7, comma Y is equal to 8. Let me try out like this. It works, right? So what happens you see here? Okay, function AB has been called. So what it says, the function got an unexpected keyword argument X. So it says that by default, it is not accepting this one. So it is saying that the keyword argument X is a fault here. So it means that X is not actually defined, but it is turned as the keyword. It is turned as the keyword. So there is a part of the function which we need to discuss later, where I want to show you how the sort is accepting the reverse is equal to true. Okay, Saurabh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So for your example, I have told, just shown you where you are getting an error. So we will solve this problem after we finish these particular functions. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So now getting on to the
So
next.
what if we have string? I mean, what if we have in the list strings and integer? Will it give sorting error?
Do you want strings? Okay, right. Let us try for strings also. You want something like this, Kranti, something like Arun, uh, Teja, something. If you want, if we sort it, let us see how it will sort. So S dot, this is what you are asking, right? Whether it will sort or
Yes,
not.
sir.
Okay, let us see. Yeah, it is sorting. So it is sorting based on the techniques. For example, you see how it sorts. You clearly need to understand that if all the beginning letters or the beginning characters of a string are different, it will arrange these strings based on the beginning characters. For example, if I am having something like Arjun here, Arjun. So what it will say, now it will go to the next letter. The next character is also same, and then it goes to the next letter. So maybe Arjun, Arun, and Teja will be in order. The order might not change. So what I will do is just cut it down here. So it is our assumption. We don't know how it is actually sorting it, but still I am assuming it. Maybe it is first comparing if two characters are equal. If they are equal, then it is going to the next one. R, R. They are also equal. Next, it will go to U and J. So based on this, J should come front and U should go back, right? And Teja always remains here because T is always greater than A. Let us see. Yeah, I think it is working like that, right? Are you understanding? So J is coming front and U is going back. Now, if we reverse it, how you will expect the values? If reverse is equal to true,
Teja, Arun, and Arjun.
yeah, Teja, Arun, and Arjun. So this is
Arjun.
how the string sorting will work.
So
Okay,
what if in the list contains both integer and strings?
both integer and strings. Okay, let us look into that. So maybe I am expecting that if the list contains these things, um, it might give importance to the integers. Let us take these things first and let us see. Anyway, it will arrange the integers in an order and then it will arrange the strings in an order. But I need to observe now which one is kept first and which one is given importance. Okay, this is what it has been done. What it does, less than not. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. You see what happens? To sort it, it is expecting all the values to be the same type. Now, so this is what you need to observe in this particular situation. So if I have something like 5 less than 7, it says either true or false. How I can say 5 less than Kranti? This is false, right? It says the same error, you see. Less than not supported between the instances of integer and string. So when we discussed about the operator, I said that less than or greater than, less than or equal to or greater than equal to. Any comparison operator will only compare between the same class types. For example, they can compare two integers and let us check this one also. 5 less than 6.5. It will give you, because these all, even though we say that 5 is belonging to the integer class, 6.5 is a float class, still the integers and float are all considered as numbers. Okay, so integers, float are all considered as numbers. So the super class is numbers. For example, the humans, the animals, like the monkey, the dogs, everything comes under mammals, right? The same thing happens here. Numbers is a super class, and in that you have integer class, float class. So 5 is an object belonging to the integer class. 6.5 is an object belonging to the float class. So because they all belong to the numbers itself, it is actually comparing. But string is not part of your numbers. String is different. So that is the reason a character can be compared with a particular string. But what it says, I think I did not fix this one. I need to close this. Yeah. Then see, a character and a string both belongs to the string class. So it can compare a single character and a string. So whatever the values might be, operand 1 and operand 2. For example, if there is an operator, you always need to consider operand 1, you have an operator, then operand 2. Both this operand 1 and operand 2 should always belong to the same class. It's a very good doubt. Otherwise, I would have forgot to tell you. I think you understand now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for asking that. Right. Now, after reverse, I think we are at reverse. See, this is the index for the reverse way. List dot reverse. So what is expecting from the list dot reverse? For example, if it is the list, you're not going for sorting. Remember, the sorting always compares among them to arrange them in an order. So it will not be possible to have multiple values in a list. So if you try to sort it, it is always expecting same type of values so that it can compare between them. But now coming to the reverse, the reverse will accept it. What you actually expect from the reverse in this case?
2, Teja, Arjun, Arun, and 1.
Yes, 2, Teja, Arjun, Arun, and 1. Okay, it is just reversing it. 2, Teja, Arjun, Arun, and 1. You can just reverse like this. It's a simple function. Now, next going to some chart I got. Sir, for sorting, can it sort list and a sublist together? Can you give me an example, Shashank? Can you just type the example, what list you want to sort? Okay, you are expecting something like 1, 2. I will just type out one thing. You just tell me whether it is correct or not. I think that you are expecting this one. So Shashank asks me a doubt, maybe like this, maybe 3. Is this Shashank you are asking? Is this what you are asking to just sort? You got it. Yes, yes. Okay. This is the way he is asking now. So he is asking me whether this can be sorted. Okay, let us check this one, whether it can be sorted or not. But I think it might compare the first value with the other things. Let us check out. Let us check out to sort it. Sort and visualize the program. Yeah, it is having like that. What it says, a list and an integer cannot be sorted. I think the same case that we are doing it. The reason is 1, 4, 5 are a list. So if you consider this one, 1, 4, 5 is a sublist and the whole sublist is an item. But what this belongs to, this particular part 1, 4, 5 is called, it is belonging to a data type list. 3 and 2 are belonging to the data type integer. So it says the same old error that a list data type cannot be compared with the integer data type. I think Shashank, you understand that. The same way with the strings. Like previously we have done with the strings, it is saying the string data type cannot be compared with the integer data type. Now it's saying that list data type cannot be compared with the integer data type. Shashank, have you understood it? Okay, right. Okay, so you know what is reverse, you know what is sort, and now we are going to copy. Now, it's a great aspect of listening to copy. We have a lot of things to discuss in copy. Let me remove this one. Some question has been asked, I think.
Sir, one small doubt.
Yeah, is it Rahul?
No, sir, Giri's hand.
Yeah, you asked me.
Sir, once can you open the Visual Studio, sir? I mean, not Visual Studio, the Virtual Studio.
Okay.
Python, Visual.
This one?
Python.
Python with Visual
Yeah.
Studio.
Yes, sir. The previous screen.
VS. Previous screen. This one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, in this, if we just want to sort the sublist, can we write S bracket square bracket 3 dot sort?
S square bracket.
I mean 2, the index number.
Where you want to write exactly?
I mean, I just want to sort the sublists, sir. So can we write S square bracket 3 dot sort?
Yes, you can write it. You can write it. So you can write something like S012 actually. It is not 3.
Yeah, 2s.
Yeah. It is done, right? Anyway, we are rating in a sorted order, so it is nothing, different. But let me give like 4 and 5, 5 and 4. Okay, in this way I'm sorting. You can do this because you are it is legal way because all the data types in that list are integers. It can do that. See,
Yeah.
it has been performed 145 in this memory. Okay, right. Another doubt I got from your friend, one of your friend who was given in the chart. Sir, in sort, if we have two strings are same, will it give the answer or it cancel one of the same string? Yeah, if actually if two strings are equal, for example, in a list I am giving Kranti, Kranti, definitely it doesn't do anything, but it reminds you Kranti, Kranti only. Okay, like as if the example I said 145, 145 are in an order, or I might give 5, 5, 5. They are also in an order because they are all equal. There is no ascending and descending. It keeps on like that. It never cancels anything. Rahul, have you understood it? Okay. Now, I want to just iterate something. Maybe we can also discuss in the lab in the afternoon if we have time up, but still time is there. Python. Sorry, I need to clear it. Python 3. Okay, right. Let us check out.
Sir, reverse is type 4, no, sir?
Yeah, of course. Because we are not giving any anything into it, you can say it is type 4. Yeah. Without any parameter and without any return value. Now let us say one thing. N1 is equal to, I have some values 1, 2, 3. Okay. N2 is equal to N1, I said. Okay. N2 is equal to N1. Now if I find the ID of N1, what is the ID of N1 that was given? 4419096300. Now, if I find out ID of N2, what answer you expect?
Sir, a different address.
Different address.
So, how many of you say different? Can you raise your hand? Different address. Okay. Giri said, Saurath. Okay. Right. Okay. So now you can cancel your raising hand. How many of you say that it is same? Same address. Anybody thinks it is same address? Okay, Ravindra Sai Sweya says same address. Jaswant. Okay, good. So we have two teams now. Okay, let me explain one thing. I will show it on board so that now we will have a competition between these two teams. Who is the winner? Okay, so if we consider a memory, I have some memory like this. Okay, so I have I'm giving something like N1 is equal to 1, 2, 3. So in this case, your 1, 2, 3 will be given in the memory, right? As I have said yesterday, like your strings, it is also given a memory with a reference, right? So maybe the address is 1100. So when I said N1 is equal to this one, so N1 is holding the address 1100, which is referring to the first element of this. So my one might be having different address, or two might be having different, but three might be having different. This address is held by the address 1100. Okay. Now if I said n1 is equal to, sorry, n2 is equal to n1. This is the case which I have just typed here. N2 is equal to n1. So what does I say now? Why should I get different address? I'm saying n2 is equal to n1. What is n1? N1 is nothing but whatever it is holding, the address 1100. If this is the case, n2 is also referring to the same address 1100. Now, let us prove that it will happen. So what does it happen now? So does n1 and n2 has the same address or not? Yes?
Same, sir.
Yes. Sir.
Same.
Sir, in C it will show different ID, right?
In C actually it shows different
Yeah,
ID.
that day you said so.
Yeah. But here it should be equal. And there is also a difference between, the strings and the list also. You see what is the difference? I will tell you. N1 is equal to 1, 2, 3 and N2 is equal to 1, 2, 3. And now if I find the ID of N1, this is the ID. If I find the ID of N2, what you are expecting?
Different.
It is different. You see how different it is? So that means when you are giving N2 is equal to N1, you are simply saying that N2 has no separate reference, but N2 is referring to what is referred by N1. N1 in reference chestunda, N2 kuda ade reference chestunda ani cheptunnam ikkada. But here in this case, N1 is 1, 2, 3, N2 is 1, 2, 3. You might think, sir, both the lists are equal. So why can't N1 and N2 be pointed to the same? But in strings, it is happening, I think. You see, if I am saying S1 is equal to Kranti, right? And S2 is equal to Kranti, let us see what will happen. ID of S1 and ID of S2. What is showing? Same address. It is showing different address. What I think your mind might be having some doubt. What is this difference? What is that? Why this difference is happening? N1 is showing the same list, N2 is showing the same list, but they are having different addresses, right? So here, what is the difference between them? The first difference is here you need to know. The first difference is here N1 is equal to 1, 2, 3 we said, N2 is equal to N1. So N2 is also having 1, 2, 3. In this case, it is showing two addresses are same. Yes,
Sir,
like how we have
sorry
done.
to disturb.
Yes.
Chemistry faculty is waiting outside, sir. Sir,
Sorry.
shall we wind up the session, sir?
Okay. Let us discuss in the lab. Just look into this and think about this. There are difference between mutable and immutability, and also you can think about why this difference is happening, like how I have explained, and we will continue with our lab. Okay, bye bye everybody.
Thank you, sir.